So critically important to have lots of unsaturated fats called PUFAs, polyunsaturated fats like EPA and DHA, the better omega-3 fats that we need to supplement in our diet. But in addition to that, we have to remember the degree to which we are under oxidative stress. It's called allostatic load. The total combination, the total sum of distress plus environmental toxins, remember the air and the soil and the water now are contaminated, get used to it. And as you know, I started as a skeptic. I did not come as an advocate for this point of view. I was astounded when we learned that stress and oxidative damage promote heart disease, and when you de-stress from, in human cases, abdominal breathing and dichromatic green lights and salt and soda baths before bed, and very simple, not very time-consuming, not expensive, but they are changes in habits, they are changes in lifestyle that can add life to years and years to life, so that heart disease becomes a choice. Now, when you're talking about a killer that consumes somewhere between 500,000 and 750,000 people a year, I think it's 2 people every second have a cardiac event in the United States today. And by the way, there's less heart disease today than there was in the 1960s. We think scientifically that mostly that's because people smoke less. So when men stopped smoking, heart disease rates went down. When women started smoking, heart disease rates in women went up. So it is mostly epigenetic, it is mostly lifestyle, it is mostly choice. Again, going back to Mel Brooks, and he's a little harsh when he says this, but he says, too many people dig their grave with their fork. And what I say is choose foods that you can digest, that you can assimilate, that you can eliminate without immune burden. And today, for a lot of good reasons and some not so good reasons, maldigestion, dysbiosis, what we call repair deficit or leaky gut syndrome, whatever that is very common. And so is enteropathy. That means lack of ability to assimilate the nutrients and to keep bad stuff out and good stuff in. That is absolutely essential for the first part of what I said, which is heart disease is about nourishing the heart. It is not about fighting with fats, cholesterol. The notion that cholesterol, an essential building block for membranes, and the source for all of the hormones, male and female, estrogens and testosterones, all come originally from cholesterol. So taking medicines that restrict cholesterol to a specific number, like a number of, say, 200. I want my cholesterol to be 200. Half the heart attacks occur in people with cholesterols over 200. Half the heart attacks occur in people with cholesterols below 200. What is the significance of 200? Well, it's an easy number to remember. That's what I was told. It is. It's an easy number to remember. But I don't care what your cholesterol is. I care what your oxidized cholesterol or your oxidized LDL are. I care what your omega-3 index is. Do you have enough of the good omega-3? Do you have too much of the omega-6 like most Americans? And if you want to promote repair deficit, if you want to enhance inflammation, if you want to induce self-attack and autoimmunity, having 30 to 60 times more omega-6 because of the edible oils and because of your choice of processed and convenience foods, that promotes poor heart health. On the other hand, if you make the transition as I did to whole foods and eating a wide variety of easy to digest, assimilate, and eliminate foods, now you can reverse. Did you hear what I said? You can reverse atherosclerosis, coronary disease, risk of stroke, carotid disease. Many studies have been done. We, Don Frey, Bob Maley, and others, and I had the privilege of doing some of the original pivotal animal study models. But since then, in people, it's been proven that if you have enough of the good stuff, you dramatically reduce cardiovascular risk. And if you don't get the bad stuff out, you dramatically increase the cardiovascular risk. So in essence, heart disease from coronary to vascular to stroke is a product of our advanced but refined and highly processed civilization, and I recommend nature, nurture, and wholeness. I recommend physiology before pharmacology. I recommend looking at these molecules as they act in the body and their functional importance, and not just arbitrarily thinking about plumbing and mechanical adjustments of numbers. That you can move cholesterol with medicines. Absolutely, you can. But show me any study that really shows long-term benefit. And I'll tell you something you may or may not know, which is most of the medicines used to lower cholesterol are mild antioxidants. And they only help the people who are antioxidant deficient. And if you listen to what I say, including the appropriate amounts of ascorbates and polyphenolics, along with the other heart-healthy elements, including coenzyme Q10. But coenzyme Q10 is very hard to get in the human body. And if you start with 100% CoQ10 and you micelize it into little nano-tiny droplets in 100% rice bran oil, and you include the natural tocopherols, because if you need CoQ10, you need vitamins E. Now you can get in 3 or more times, 300% better bioavailability from micellized in 100% rice bran oil, true CoQ10, along with tocopherols. And then you may need some B-complex that includes hydroxycobalamin, B12 in nature's preferred form, that you dissolve under your tongue before swallowing. And these, what I will call simple, yet elegantly profound and profoundly important choices, are choices we want you to make in the affirmative so that you can dramatically reduce your risk of any cardiovascular ill.